I think for me where the problem is with dowry is where they think it is like a price of valuing this woman and putting her in a box and say she is worth this amount. And then when this man takes this woman, it's like, I paid my dowry over your head. What are you talking about? For me, that's where the problem is. That's where it becomes a little bit bad. But giving it out as a gift to appreciate these parents. Thank you for giving me a gift of this wonderful young lady that I'm in love with. I'm not taking her for free. I'm just appreciating. For me, that is where it really, it makes meaning. And I don't like the notion of saying this is bride price.
Yeah.
When it becomes a price, you're putting a price on the girl. And there is no life that can be equated in anything. All lives are priceless. You are valueless. I mean, look at this beautiful. I mean, just look at yourselves and someone comes and puts a price on you. I mean, no way. It can't be. But when they come, appreciate your parents. We're giving these gifts. You also feel appreciated. You're like, yeah, I am marrying someone who values me. Really, yeah.
I know we are still doing the relationship series. Us as Christians, so we have the dowry negotiations that happen, and I know Zach, you're almost getting there.
Hey, what are you not telling
I'm
us?
prophesying, Amma.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. So, in as much as we are Christians, there are some of the things. Some of these things are there's some expectations on the other end. You're going to take dowry to this family, and they have certain expectations on what you need to do. So first of all, do we think that dowry is biblical? Is it biblically founded? Is it necessary? Is it important?
If we go biblical, I can give like maybe 2 or 3 examples from the Bible. One, let's talk about I think Genesis 24. Abraham gave his servant gifts to take to Rebecca's home. And he didn't bring back those gifts. They were given as form of dowry for Rebecca's hand in marriage. That's one. 2, Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, and he added another 7 years. And he added another working for his father-in-law, because he didn't have material things at the time to give, so he had to work. He labored for his father-in-law to get the child. To get the wife. Another example I can give is also Shechem. Shechem, after raping Dinah, it may sound, but after that, he said, ask me for anything you want in form of dowry, and I'll give it to you, but give her to me as a wife, because I love her dearly. So, and maybe to add on that, remember Michal, David's wife, he had to pay 100 foreskins as dowry for her to Saul, King Saul. So that means dowry is biblically instituted. So we can't run away from it. Yeah.
But is it as a culture, or is it... Because I think what's coming out is that we need to differentiate between culture and doctrine in the Bible. So is it something that is in their culture that they were just respecting, or it's a doctrine that we are being encouraged as Christians to embrace?
These were Jews. It is a Jewish culture. It was a Jewish culture. They used to give out dowry. Yes. So I think when it comes back to us, I've always heard people talk about Africans and Jews being connected in very many ways. Like their culture is almost the same. So, like she said, we had religion even before this Bible came, or before the white man came. So culturally, people giving dowry. I think for me where the problem is with dowry is where they think it is like a price of valuing this woman and putting her in a box and say she is worth this amount. And then when this man takes this woman, it's like, I paid my dowry over your head. What are you talking about? For me, that's where the problem is. That's where it becomes a little bit bad. But giving it out as a gift to appreciate these parents. Thank you for giving me a gift of this wonderful young lady that I'm in love with. I'm not taking her for free. I'm just appreciating. For me, that is where it really, it makes meaning. And I don't like the notion of saying this is bride price.
Yeah.
When it becomes a price, you're putting a price on the girl.
Human being.
And there is no life that can be equated in anything. All lives are priceless. You are valueless. I mean, look at this beautiful. I mean, just look at yourselves and someone comes and puts a price on you. I mean, no way. It can't be. But when they come, appreciate your parents. We're giving these gifts. You also feel appreciated. You're like, yeah, I am marrying someone who values me. Really, yeah.
Yeah, let me add on that and say, no, it's not a doctrine. You will not miss heaven because you did not pay dowry. You know, but it's a cultural, it's something. It's a cultural heritage. It's something that has been practiced and something that has been passed down. But it doesn't mean that it's cast in stone. I actually know fathers, and this will shock some of you, that said, my daughter is priceless. She's valueless. I am just giving her. I don't want anything. This is my child. She's the one who has chosen to marry this young man. So let them go, let them build their home. And you can imagine the joy of that son-in-law. Yeah? But I think that everything good, there's a way human beings, we just abuse it. There's a way, we are human, there's some way that we're going to abuse things that originated as being good. And so dowry, personally, if someone says, they're going to pay dowry for me, I would rather if they just come and show honor to my parents and say, parents of Monica, I love your daughter and I want to take her hand in marriage and this is what I have. But I don't expect my parents to now say, haitoshi. And that's what we see happening. The relatives of the side of the girl, they start saying, huyu tumesomesha, we have educated her. This one, she has broken a number of plates, and it becomes an economic, it becomes a transaction, but and it breaks fellowship. Because think about it, the reason why dowry is given as a gift, and the reason why Isaac, the servant who was sent, Abraham's servant Eliezer, when he went, it's to foster relationship. So think about what is the aftermath of this dowry process. Is it going to cause the families to resent each other, or is it going to bring the families together?
Okay. I actually agree with all your points. She has just mentioned my thoughts on it concerning the dowry. The first point she mentioned about Abraham, the gift that was given. So I think the moment I am taking you as I like you, I love you, I want to get married to you, and I show up to your parents, I'm not expecting your parents to tell me that this lady give us 400,000 because I'm bringing a gift. Was the gift valued? Was it like, did you know, if I'm giving you a gift, you have to surprise you, right? You don't know if it's a phone or what.
Yeah.
But
don't bring a phone.
Yes, of course I will not bring the phone. But I think in the different cultures, we've turned these things to a point of, sorry to say, some parents, they want to sell their daughters.
Yeah.
They want to, like, my daughter is 400, you have to pay 400,000. I'm like, wait, can we bargain? Are we bargaining, taking over someone's life? So I think in the culture point of it, we've had different kind of understanding as much as giving the dowry is concerned, because in the Bible it was clear it was as a gift, but we were not told that this gift cost this amount of money. I don't know. We were not told. But I think that's I will go back to how we were raised, how the family raised you, because if I get married right now, I'll have to make sure that one of the most important things that I'll have to do, that the purpose of God is to raise a godly family. So raising godly family, I have to make sure that we do the right thing, godly, the godly way. So if my family is raised in a godly way, even things to do with dowry, all those things, we need to understand them in the biblical way, not in the cultural way. Because cultural way has so many people with different mind thoughts, with all those kind of things. So we need to understand, surely. I'm not buying this lady. I am not buying this lady.
Surely.
Then again, when we pay the dowry, also some men, I need to speak with men, some men, like she was saying, I pay 400,000 for you. So you'll do what I want.
Yeah.
No. So I think we also need parents. Our parents need to help us in this generation. And I like what she was saying, that if you like the people want to get married to her, then the parents say that give us what you want. I'm not selling this person. So we need to understand dowry in a biblical way. For me, I understand it also as a form of a gift. And a gift doesn't mean that I need to pay this amount. I'll just, of course, I know this. You know, there's some parents that say that, you know, my parents has masters.
I know.
Yes. So just calculate how much have I used to educate her to get her there. So there's some also families that when you're going to like cool kids, so when you're going to give the dowry, expect 1M, all those kind. But surely, these are the things. Even if it's I pay that 1 million, they're things of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, let me just chip on that also. I think the question that you had asked about intercultural, I think that's actually one of the biggest challenges and causes people not to want to come into intercultural families or setups, because you don't even agree on fundamentals such as dowry. Maybe this culture, they accept cows and goats, and maybe this culture, they just bring a crate of soda and it is finished. So there's going to be a misunderstanding in terms of how cultures view this particular
There's some cultures where you come as you are.
Yeah, there are cultures you come
Okay.
standing.
So you're saying that dowry is just good manners and courtesy.
Yeah.
Speaking on commercialization of dowry, how dowry nowadays has been commercialized by our uncles. You're brought for a list, Nambua padlock, 50K.
Yeah.
I don't know, kufungua gate ni 200K. So if you're in that situation, how do you, and you've been told that this is the price, and it has happened to most of our friends, to our members, they're told that if you don't do this, we're not negotiating. So how do you navigate such a situation? Do you say naomba nijitoe kidogo, or how do you deal with that?
I think for me, what I will advise. Let's say I'm the one now taking.
What you will do?
Okay, what I will do, yes. Let's assume I'm the one taking the dowry. I just have to talk with your parents. I'll tell them, I want to do this biblical way. I don't want to do it in the other way that people may think. So it's upon the parents to understand and to talk to the people, because I'm going to take this lady I want to get married to. I've gone to so many these dowries, and there's a point the door was closed, so we have to changa. I don't know. We contributed up to 10,000. 10,000
to open a gate.
To open just the main gate. We've not even seen. That was the main gate. Then when you get to the main gate, see now the main gate was just young guys, young ladies. Then when you get to now the gate to the door, to level 2, aunties.
Oh no! And you also have to give.
You see now. So for me, I think I'll have to advise the lady I'm getting married to talk to the parents, or they can get to understand where I'm coming from and where I'm going to, because I don't want to be mistreated. I don't want to do things that are not right. I'll just please, this person is this kind of a person. So if we bring those whole thing, those things will frustrate her. So I'll just talk to the in-laws. You know what? This is the way we can do it. Think about it. I'm not advising you on how to give me your daughter. I'm not advising you. I'm just telling you the right way that I would like to follow. And that is very important also to get married to a godly family, because they will advise you. Yeah.
I think to add on what he said, women now, let's have this.
Let me.
He's not around.
Okay.
You
I'll come back.
have this gentleman that you really love. He loves you. Are we not searchable? Actually, we are on the shelf, yeah?
We are on the shelf.
Exactly. So God has brought this young man. He is a man of your dreams you've been praying for. He has all the qualities that you talked about, God-fearing, everything he has. And it is in the will of God that you people should get married. But now, culture calls. And you have to pay this, he has to pay this dowry. You know your parents better than he knows them. And you also know him better than your parents know him. You must be a go-between between him and your parents. Tell daddy, tell mommy. Sit down these uncles and aunties. Tell them, you are not going to mistreat my husband because he can only afford A, B, C, D. What will I eat when I get married? And he has gotten a loan to pay the dowry. We start marriage on a loan, on strife, on misunderstandings. Is that a marriage? No. Better do what you can within your means at that time, so that you keep a relationship between you and the other family. When mommy calls, I am ready to receive, and I'm like, hey, mommy, come home, without, having those fears. What will my husband say? If dad is calling me, I can send sugar home without thinking, because I know my parents treated my husband better. A story is told in Uganda where this young girl got married and the dowry was really so high. The guy struggled, but he loved the girl. He went ahead, married her. But from the time they were married, whenever the parents of the girl would be coming home, he would never buy sugar, he would never buy meat, he would never buy anything good. They'd be like, let them eat beans. I'm not going to buy meat.
They took the money.
So, and when the parents of the guy would be coming, he would go all the way to buy everything. So the woman was really bothered over time. And then when she asked, why are you treating my parents badly? Really, I am bothered. They even have children. I was like, when I finish paying the loan that I took for that dowry, they will eat meat in my house.
Wow.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is to the now you think the woman can even get money from their treasury to give to the parents? She can't. Marriage should be a relationship between the two families. It is not a transaction. So as a woman, as a girl, you have a role to play. A big role to play. And I know some girls who don't care. Like, daddy, how many cows do you want? How many? Let him pay. Let him pay. It is very bad. Because at the end of the day, you're going to stay with this man. You're going to raise a family together. Do not begin your relationship or your marriage on loans. Don't begin your relationship on strife. Don't begin your relationships on misunderstandings. Begin your marriage on a clean slate and with what you can afford.
That's quite interesting what you have said. That's actually, we know, but when your husband to be is giving the dowry, that's sort of your money as well. Because once you get married, your money will be married.
Yes.
So whatever is being extracted from your joint account is coming from something that you're part of.
Exactly.
So I think that's something that we need to be.
I've heard of a story that after the dowry was given, now these people started staying. So they stayed for roughly 3-4 years. But now the life situation, like she was saying, so these people had to separate. It was difficult. Now the woman said that we are no longer married. We actually, I don't know whether they divorced, but They were separated, I think, for a very long period of time. I think even right now. But now the man said, you need to return the money I pay for you.
The dowry.
You need to return the money. Not that you need to return the money. The amount, I may not be able to mention the amount, but the amount was such amount. Return the amount. I cannot pay that amount and you do all these things to me.
Yeah.
Your parent insisted that I have to pay this amount of money for me to take you. So you decided us not to stay together. You want us to divorce. Return my money,
Yeah.
go.
Then you go.
Okay, great. The director is looking at me like time. So maybe on the last aspect of this conversation, I'd like us to talk around the issue of in-laws. How do we? I know that's a hot topic for some people, especially now. That I think that's where now the proper cultural differences come in, because there are expectations on this end, and this other end doesn't know that these expectations exist. So in those situations, for instance, I come from a community where food, the woman needs to be very on top of things when it comes to the kitchen, and maybe I'm marrying from another community that business is the order of the day. Food is like whatever, just mix things there.
Secondary.
Food is food. So these two people come together, and that's one of the questions that when you're taken home, let's say the lady is taken to this other community where food is valued, and they don't know, they're not very good at that space. How do they handle that situation? How do you, and your in-laws don't approve of this other partner on particular grounds that are important for that community? So how do you navigate that issue of in-laws, first of all, not approving of your partner, and in-laws being too much in your business?
I think you need to understand who you married, because the Bible says the two became one flesh, not the two and their uncles and their aunties and their mother-in-laws. It's you two who came and became one flesh. And so that's number one, speaking on the side of a woman. And number two, as a spouse, whatever in-law is problematic, if it's the in-laws from the guy's side, the husband should be able to cover the wife, because you two are one. So I don't see a situation, and I don't understand how a husband can be very willing to just expose the wife that, oh, she doesn't cook, oh, she doesn't do this. Because if the husband cannot be able to cover his wife and protect his wife in that home, then what hope does she have, right? She's the one who came from outside and she married into that family. And the same applies even for the other side. If it's the in-laws of the side of the lady, and the husband maybe he has just lost a job, for instance, and they come visiting, she won't say, there's no money, there's no breadwinner. If she's working, they need to come and agree together and say, okay, now we have a pool of, we have an account, this is where we put our money, we'll use this to cook for the family when they come to visit, so that the husband is covered. They won't say, we gave our daughter to a poor man, a man with no vision, So I think the two partners, the two spouses, they need to cover one another. They need to remember that it's God who put them together, and God's intention is for that family to stand. And so by all means, they should make sure that their family is standing, so that it's them together as one against whatever opposition. So that if I'm the daughter of my family side, I am able to show them that I am still standing with my husband. Unless it's a case of domestic violence, now that's a whole other conversation. I do not encourage someone to remain where they might get killed. But all other cases, you should be able to speak as one voice, as a family, and establish your own culture and show that unity. With time, what you'll see happening, the in-laws will catch the drift. They'll see our chani, they're together and they're not going anywhere, so we have to respect their marriage and let them build their home.
I like the point of covering, and this comes in as a man. I need to protect my wife. I can even protect my wife, like let's say, for example, my dad or my mom raise a voice to her. I'm there to protect her. So I like that point of protecting. But again, like she was saying that when we're talking about the dowry, she said a point of this lady has to be a go-between. So in this case, it is the man and the lady as the go-between, the two in-laws. But I believe that when the first day I met you, all that time we spent until the day I was doing the dowry, then we got married. What are we talking about? Those are the things that we need to talk about. Tell me about your parents. I tell you about my parents, so that I get to understand I'm getting into marriage to this kind of an in-laws. So like am I the kind of a person who can allow your sister, I'm married to you, then your sister comes spend time and stay with us? Can that work? So I need to understand your family so that I'm okay getting married to this kind of a family. The same thing has to happen to you. You need to understand this is how we do things. If we are on the cultural thing, be honest to this person. Know us, this is how we do stuffs. Be honest, because honesty, I think honesty is an in turn of trust. So whenever you are honest, this person will trust what you said, right? So we need to speak about it at the dating period. How are we going to handle our in-laws? How are we going to handle our parents? We are the go-between to make that these parents can be a family, one family. The in-laws can be one family. But the point of covering, men need to cover their wives. But again, when the wives are being covered, please don't feel covered. No, you're not doing anything. Help the man to cover you. Help the man to cover you. Because you might be doing something. Today I covered you. Tomorrow you're like, oh, siji nini. No. You have to, if I've covered you, have to sense that, oh, nyenyewe, I did this thing. It is my fault. My husband covered me. Because I know if I covered you, we have to talk about it. Why? What? Because I want to go to understand, is it my parents or is it you? So if it's my parents, I go talk to my parents. This person, not you, is marrying this lady. It is me. Yeah. So I think talk about it during the dating point. Yeah.
Can I have a parting shot from?
I think bringing it home. I'll use the same verse where the Bible talks about, and for that matter, man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one. Cleaving means, or living means, growing and going. You grow, leave your father's house, go make your own home. The moment you leave, you now have authority in your home, and you have this woman. All right, that means it's a two of you to make it work first. The other people are outsiders. The other people are third parties. Even your children should not come between the two of you. Your father and mother, you left. They are still your fathers, they're still your mothers, but they are now outsiders to your marriage. That's why you left them. The woman left her home, the man left his home, they built their own home. So the in-laws are third parties in your, build a high fence that no one should see that actually the man can wash utensils in his home. Otherwise they'll call the woman a witch. Build that high fence that no one knows what happens, how you spend your money, how you raise your children. Build that high fence that no one will peep to see what happens inside your home, because it is the two of you to make this marriage work, to raise your children, to know how to treat these people outside, the friends, the outsiders. No one should enter into your marriage and tell you what to do unless you allow them. So even the in-laws, we are the ones who allow them to trample onto us, to tell us what to do, because we've allowed them into our space. Yes.
Open. Wow, thank you so much. That's a very nice way of ending this conversation. And I think the topic on culture is very wide. I think we have just touched the tip of the iceberg. And if there are other things that we needed to discuss, or the audience has more to add on to this, feel free to extend this conversation to the comment section. But I'm so grateful for the wisdom that we have just shared. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you, Pastor Monica. This has been a really enlightening session, and I'm really looking forward to the next episode. Thank you so much. Bye.
Don't seek counsel from Ahithophel. Seek counsel from people who have observed their lives, and there's something impressive
Yeah.
about them. There's something that you can see. You see godliness in the lives of these men, and therefore you seek their counsel.
Yeah.
If you do that, then you will be hearing the word of God or the counsel of God through men.
Yeah.
You can seek God independently, very important and very, very key. But there is a counsel that God releases through people that comes to you. In that way, then you will be well equipped. And of course, as the Bible says, from a multitude of counsel,
Yeah.
you'll get wisdom.
Yeah.